Hello, hello. Let me get you clipped in. Clipped in, secured, locked in. Got you locked in now. Well, I got a clip up there that I hang my iPad from. For those of you who don't know and want to know, I bought a they're called goosenecks. Gooseneck arm for your iPad or phone. And I have a shelf right there, and then I clamp it to my shelf and it hangs over. So then I'm logging in so I can talk to you guys. Okay. Hello, hello. So I finished that journal and I still am going to do more boho. So this fabric, you can see the glue through it. So I have to line it with something. And I hate to do it, but I'm going to use this muslin. I hate to do it. I really shouldn't, but I already ripped it and blah, blah. It's vintage muslin is why I'm having such a hard time. And you don't come across that very often, and it's not even going to be seen. It's going to be on the inside, and so I'm thinking, shoot, I should use something else, but... I just don't feel like going and digging. You know how that is? So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it a couple of times here. I ripped it up for my next 3 covers, and it's like, I'm going to just regret it. When I run out of my vintage muslin, I'm going to say, I knew I should have done that. So, I hope I don't hate myself later for being lazy. I'm actually not lazy. It's just, I'm kind of lazy, but... I just don't know what else I would use. It's got to be just the right kind of fabric, And anyway, this has a fringe on the side, that eyelashy stuff. So I got to kind of watch out and be careful and all this. So when I get this done, then I'll tell you what's going on, okay? Ah, crap. Right away, I got issues. Bunches. I never sewed on this fabric yet. It's sari, and sari is very particular, and so when you're sewing on something new, okay, it's bunching, girlies. I don't like any bunching going on, but I just am using this thread. It's a weird thread. It's a brown green kind of thread. I mean, like color wise. But I don't understand why I'm having a problem. I'm gonna just keep going here and see what's happening. I really don't know yet. We'll just see. If I hold it taut and pull it through, sometimes the bobbin is just weird. And then also, hi, they will come. Oh, hi, Elaine. Hi, Steffi. Yeah, I'm having troubles here. Well, I have beads on the one side, so I kind of have to watch out a little. So I don't know. And then, so when you're sewing unruly fabric, the best way to do it is have your hand on the back and on the front and hold it tight. Straight. And then because usually the little feet under there go like this and they pull it for you, but if it's satin or slippery stuff, it doesn't pull. So you kind of got to drag it yourself. and just, you know, struggle through, you know. So at least that's what I do, and I'm not a seamstress. Although I did have a short sewing career. There's no such thing as crafter's block, Stephanie. You know what that is, don't you, my love? There's no such thing as crafter's block. Creativity comes from a part of you that is quiet and still, and it doesn't have a voice. And when you can't listen to that, that means you have too much going on outside of you. That's distracting you from listening to your creative self. So you have too much drama going on. So dump the drama, whatever it is you got going on in your head, and then you'll be able to let your creativity come through. You're too busy. You have too much stuff. The only way we can allow anything to come in our lives is if we dump something else. Our problem is we're too filled. We want to carry everything. We want to keep everything and hold it and keep it, just like these memories and this nostalgia. It's actually not good for a person, really, in the long run. We should be empty vessels, you know, and we're too often carrying the past, traumas, hurts, worries, you know, health, you know, family crap, just everything that, you know, we really sometimes don't need to burden ourselves with. And that's why we can't enjoy life sometimes, because we have too much crap going on. And so the best way is dump it. Whatever's not serving you, get rid of it. If it keeps you from what I call blooming, it's not worth it. Whatever it is that you got going on. You know, if it's some kind of emotional hurt or whatever, or trauma or something that happened or whatever, you have got to look at it and see how it's either going to serve you or it isn't. And if it isn't, then you have to let it go. Shut the door in your mind. Literally. It's a literal thing I'm talking about. You literally have to shut the door and not go back, you know. Because sometimes that keeps you stuck in a place. You know what I mean? And I know you know what I'm talking about, because sometimes we get stuck in these places in life, you know, sometimes. And sometimes we say, oh my God, I got to get out of this rut, you know. These ruts. But we make them. That's the good news. We make them. And so that means we can unmake them. And so if you're in a rut of some kind, when a person tells me they have creator's block, that's what that means. Nope. You're just too busy in your mind. You got some stuff to dump. And that's actually what that Under the Junk group is for. Talking about that kind of stuff. And what happens when we do that, and how our body reacts and how we feel and those kind of things. But without my direction, it's kind of taken a weird turn now, where it's all just, I don't know. But I'm spread so thin that I can't seem to run two groups at once. But these are the types of things that it's called Under the Junk, and I have a little group there, and I schmoozed this over too far. I gotta rip some out here. It's unruly, this satin, you know. So it's gonna bunch now if I don't do this. I mean, I gotta undo some of it on the end here, so. But anyway, so what would be interesting, Stephanie, is, I don't even know if you're a member of Under the Junk, are you? So what we do over there is, I should put the link up. It's interesting because what I like to do is, and I just haven't had time. I should just make time, though. It's actually important. What we do is you take a look at your own self. This is dealing with all your junk. This is your junk that you make for yourself. Person doesn't realize sometimes, but we do. We do it to ourselves a lot of times, you know. And so under the junk is about getting in there and getting rid and dumping some of that crap that we carry around. And so it would be interesting to have another person like on the same wavelength as me saying in that group, okay, so here's what was bothering me. This wasn't serving me, so I let it go. Here's how I did it. And now this is what I feel and how I overcame that. And, you know, spread it out so that women understand and know that you have to dump things in order to make room for something else. You know, you can't. And I love when famous people talk about it, like Steve Harvey talks about it. And he talks about it in a way where he talks about he wants to get a new car. And his old car is sitting out in the driveway. And he keeps talking about how he's going to get a new car and get a new car. And he never gets the new car. And his old car is still sitting there broken down in the driveway. He walks by it every single day, looks at the old car and just leaves it sitting there. So one day he walks in the house and tells his grandma, I'm going to get a new car. She says, sure, babe. But you got the old car sitting out there. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get a new car. Okay, she says, go ahead. A couple weeks later, I'm going to get that new car. Okay, but your old car is still in the driveway. Oh, don't worry about the old car. It's okay. It's okay. Pretty soon, comes and asks his grandma, I keep saying I'm going to get a new car, but I just don't get the new car. And she tells him, you got to get rid of the old car for the new car to make space for the new one. You'll never get a new one until you get rid of the old one. And he thought she was crazy, but he did it, and he moved all the junk, got rid of the old car, and guess what that did? It makes an opening. You know, there's openings. And that's what people have to learn to recognize. And sometimes we don't listen to ourselves. But you know, when you meet someone, you know, like a bank teller or a waitress that's going to take your order, or you can feel the other person, whether they're open to you or if they're just doing their job, or if they're, you know what I'm saying? You know how to feel people out. That's your intuition. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the rest of it. You just don't know what it is called, you know. We got skills, us women. And we don't realize because these skills have been, you know, covered up. But with junk. But I'm telling you, as we let these things go, we have a natural ability that has been lost through the ages, you know. And if we dump out some of the old stuff that we carry around, we will be open more universally to other things, you know, as a universal concept, you know what I mean? Which this is totally off the whole subject of crafts, but but it isn't. Because in order to inspire others and to create, you can't have all that heavy. Anything heavy, you got to get rid of it. You got to figure out. And the thing of it is it isn't even about actually getting rid of it. That's not even the right. It's not even about getting rid of it. It's about looking at it. And, you know, because most of people say, oh, I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to cry. I don't want this. I don't want that. And blah, blah, blah. And they spend a whole bunch of time and effort, energy, money on trying to run away from it. And that in itself causes another stress. Trying to not be depressed. Okay, for an example. You know what I'm saying? So rather than say to yourself, okay, I'm going to listen to society and say depression is bad, let's just look at it for our own selves and stop listening to what everyone else is saying and the doctors and they're pumping the drugs in you and everything like this. Okay, so look at what it is. For instance, depression, what is it? What is it actually doing? Okay, if you look at it, what does it actually do? Well, to me, depression just slows everything down, which, you know, isn't always that bad. We always look at it like it's some terrible thing. Oh God, we have to slow down. Oh no, we're depressed. Oh God, you know, it isn't about so so it's the reaction to this feeling of slowing down that's killing us. It's the reaction to everything that's killing us with everything. If we would just allow it to happen and understand that we're emotional beings, and every emotion, we're going to have every single one. We're going to have every single emotion known to man throughout our lifetime. It's just learning that that's the way it is. And just accepting that fact. 1 minute we're going to be happy, 1 minute you're going to be sad, 1 minute you're going to be this, 1 minute you're going to be that. And it's learning to not resist that fact. Because most of our time is spent resisting everything, right? So we resist the depression, then we resist the this, and we resist the that. And most of the time, most of our days, we're resisting everything. So what do? We go eat a cookie. Right? Good. It's the only, oh, you know what I mean? You know, so learning to just accept the fact, oh, yay, I get to go slow today and enjoy the slowing down process. I get to be quiet today. You know, we don't always have to be a thunderstorm. We don't always have to be full of energy and happy and blah, 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 right? Some days we can be quiet and, you know, enjoy being light, right? Or heavy, you know, whatever. It's a constancy. That's what we have to understand and not react to just because one day we don't have, you know, a whole bunch of energy or we're not all friggin' happy or we're whatever, you know, like just chill out. Just chill out, you know, and you can change in a minute, in 1 second, you guys know, but we don't realize that. But we know you can because we've done it a million times. You can change from happy to pissed off in 1 second. So that means you can change from sad to happy in the same second. The same way. You can go from pissed off to, you know, you can do happy and sad the same way. It's just a choice. You know, it's just a choice of what you're listening to in your head, which is the next issue, right? That's the next thing. You can't listen to any of it because we're emotional beings. Like I said, 1 minute you're this, 1 minute you're that, 1 minute you're that. How can you live your life according to that mess? You can't. Or you'll be in a big world of hurt. If you listen to your brain, oh my God, it's a train track. And it goes constantly around and around and around in a circle, right? So there's lots of these like theorists out there, you know, like the Tao theorists or the no mind theories, you know, and a lot of ancient Chinese, you know, cultures and different, not just Chinese, but lots of different cultures have, you know, the no mind theory anyways. And so there's something to it. I'm testing it out myself. It's a practice that's really, it can be extremely easy, and it is such a relief to be quiet and unclenched. Just to achieve that, to me, is a, you know, a major accomplishment because our ego wants to tell us something different. Our ego wants to say, this is happening to me. Why is this happening to me? Oh, woe is me. And no one cares and all this. When actually, there's nothing really happening. There's nothing ever really happening. It's just a drama scenario we've made up in our mind. It's just a reaction to whatever, something that you've doomed as negative, which, judgment is another issue. Always judging even ourselves. So to free ourselves of judgment of just ourselves, my God. So there's lots of stuff to talk about and to consider in that group, like I said, but without my direction, it's just gotten to be a place to go complain. So I don't know how to, I can't quite convey what I'm trying to do there, to give women a space to go to explore ourselves and what we're capable of, rather than listening to what men doctors say. And society, I'm anti-societal, my parents and all that. So any mainstream anything to me is the biggest joke, And every time I fall for it, all mainstream does is basically, if you're not, one of the Joneses, you're pretty much crap. And all our life is spent trying to keep up with the Joneses and working when that's just a control tool, for them to control us and keep us in line, telling us that this is how many hours a day we need to work, this is how many hours a day we need to send our kids to school, this is what I mean, so our kids are gone all day from home. 10 hours a day sometimes. Who's raising them? Who's raising them? That's what I want to know. It's the system. The system is doing it. So, okay, well then you better trust your dang system, because, shoot, sometimes it's a trick. It gets you into trouble listening to society and what they claim is right and real, when it isn't. None of it is, to begin with. It's only if you play that game. It's real then, if you play their game. But most of it can be let go, so so yeah. So if a person takes some time to explore what's actually going on, and then realize that if it doesn't serve you, what is it? And then letting it go, and then realizing, okay, yeah. Well, I have a lot of the same stuff, Stephanie. I don't want to be a disappointment. Okay, so guess what the training was for that? If you have an issue with that, it's, and some of this you might not even want to actually hear it, but I'm going to tell you anyways, so that you can understand maybe where it comes from. Because sometimes as women, we get kind of ignored and we want some attention, right? And if we don't get it, we make up these little things in our mind to make ourselves maybe feel a little more important. Okay? So we have to always check our self-importance levels to keep ourselves in check. Okay? And so you not being able to say no, or you don't want to let people down, you've got to check that out for yourself, because you don't have to be anything to anyone. I mean, it's a joke. It's fake. That's not real. We don't have to be anything to anyone. It's not your responsibility to be something for another person. Your responsibility is just to care for yourself. And as women, we run around trying to care for other people all the time. That's how we spend all of our time, when it's ourselves that we should care about. And once ourselves is taken care of and we have an overflow of then we can give. But we're always trying to give on empty because we don't take care of ourselves. And then we get bitter, resentful, and we're holding it against this person who they don't know that you're doing that. And probably you don't even know you're doing that. So you really have to watch what you're doing to yourself, you know what I mean, on the inside, just by saying yes to everyone. You got to watch out. And by saying no, if it makes you feel better by saying no, then just keep saying no. Say it to everything until you decide what exactly it is you really want to say yes to. Say no to everything. And see what happens. Just for fun. Just as a experiment. You know what I mean? And then go post it in that group under the junk just to see what happens and see how your self-importance fades away when no one needs you for anything. It's a little bit scary because we want to be important, right? I understand that. But at the same time, it relieves you of a stress that you're carrying when you really don't even realize maybe you're doing it. But anyways. Hi, Danita. Oh my God, girl. You got me on another day where I'm talking about all my crap. Oh, geez. I haven't done this in so long, and now here you come, and I'm doing it again. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about letting stuff go. No, serious. We have so much to let go of. Like, it's just... I have so much too, but I get so busy and I don't want to stop what I'm doing to deal with the crap, but I think last time we were talking about it, Janina, we were talking about how if you don't let that stuff go, you feel it in your body after the years go by. That's what happens. That's what cancer is. That's what asthma is. That's what all these things are that all these ailments are from all that crap that you carry and don't dump. That's where the ailments come from. And I always watch this guy on YouTube. I'm into the, well, yeah. I always watch, I like to do Hinduism, a little bit. I don't pick any one thing necessarily. I just kind of go with whatever makes me feel a certain way. And it has to be, you've got to take yourself out of most situations. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're basing all your decisions on opinion. And opinions are societal based, parent based, what you've been taught, all these things. You know what I'm saying? So if you practice taking out all that stuff and making decisions based on what serves you and what doesn't, rather than what you've gotten used to, it changes everything. So, it really does. I keep getting this bunch. Oh! I cannot get this bunch out. So, Carrie Plaster, you're another one. You could be using that group for the situation that you're in right now with your fears and anxieties and things that you have going on, You could be teaching all of us how to go through what you're going through and teaching us what to do should it happen to us. How are you maintaining? You know, what are you doing? You know, what did you have to let go of to get through what you're getting, you know, what you're doing? And you could, you know, use that for yourself and for a platform for other people to learn, you know. You know, when we go through something like that, it tests our abilities. It tests our everything. And we sometimes don't even understand how, well, I want to say strong we are, but at the same time, weak and vulnerable is where it's at. So I don't want to say, I'm not trying to be all, oh, strong women. Yes, that's great and everything, but there is something said to be said for vulnerability and sweetness that's been lost as well. So let's just go there for a minute. Right? We always say, oh, men have changed, chivalry is lost. Well, that's because women have grown independent and strong, independent women who don't need anything. So you bring out your sweetness and vulnerability and watch how the men react then. Or your kids or your whatever, you know. Sometimes you have to show your vulnerability and your brokenness and your softer side, you know, rather than showing that harsh part all the time. You know, that's been lost as well. And that's why we go to these vintage ladies all the time, and these images and the clothes and the lace and the whatever. Those women held more than just the clothes. There was an era and a time that women were held a vulnerability and sense of sweetness that we don't have now. And it's a rare occasion do we feel that sweetness from another person. You know, it's rare. You know, so but anywho, practicing the softening is another practice that we need to have a space for. I always have gotten the habit of hardening. When things happen to me, I harden up and backtalk and defend myself and, you know, all these things when really it really isn't doing anything for myself. You know, when you defend yourself, you're just ruffling your feathers for no reason. You can't make another person see what you see, you know, or what you feel. So you just have to remember, nothing you can do about what another person thinks. So there's no point. And if they miss your grace and beauty and what you have to offer, then that's their problem. You know, if they miss what you have to offer, there's no point in standing there giving them an argument about why you're so great. You know what I mean? Sometimes we do that. Don't understand why we love them and give them everything and they don't see how great I am, you know. Right? Yep, that's right, Danina, and that's right. It's all a reaction. So you don't react, then that's the ticket right there. And to hold that space of non-reaction, being the eye of the storm, the stillness in all of the chaos, that is where it's at right there. To be the stillness. And that's what that whole group is under the junk. Now I can get the stillness, but I can't hold it for very long because I get too distracted. And so I've been working on holding it as long as I can, you know, your own space, you know what I mean? And not letting anyone or anybody, you know, affect you know. So, anyway, trying to figure out which book cover I made this for now. Can't remember. I have all these book covers ready and waiting, and all my fabric ripped up and cut for them, but I gotta remember which one this was for now. One of these. Maybe it was this one or this one. Let's look. Yeah, expectations will kill you every time, and an agenda. An agenda messes you up too. It really, really does. To float around in life with no agenda and no expectation. Now, it sounds a little lofty, but if you could rid yourself of disappointment, right? Forever. Never be disappointed again. Can you even imagine that? To never have that again? What a relief. We're setting ourselves up for disaster when we have an expectation or an agenda. You know, I've done it a million times to myself. It's just, we ruin it for ourselves. Okay, this one's too big. Okay, this one, it looks like it fits about perfect. So let me just see if it fits another one, because I don't want to make sure no, that one's too big. This one's too big. And this one, let's see. Oh, that one's too big. Okay, well, it's this one then. I got it. So to avoid ever being disappointed again, drop the agenda and drop the expectation. And it can be, an agenda can be a simple thing as even saying to yourself, I'm going to get up today and I have this XYZ to do. Right? Well, sometimes things happen and XYZ can't happen. Right? And so the whole day you're mad and pissed off and struggling because you got to get this XYZ done, but ABC keeps coming into play and you can't do it right. And so we spend the whole day trying to do XYZ when ABC keeps, right? So you got to be open enough to be able to say, you know, yes, these things need to be done, but, you know, a lot of times we put importance on things that, you know, they can be done tomorrow. It can be done next week. There's no rush. You know, there's no hurry about life, you know. You've lived long time, you know, human beings. You know, we've been here lots of times, long time, you know. So we have to enjoy where we're at in existence, you know. Humans have, you know, evolved from, you know, our technology's evolved and our advance and everything has evolved, and, you know, so this is going to be cool. I got a fringe on the bottom, but I got too much up here, so I'm going to cut this and sew it again, I guess, because it doesn't fit on any other book. So that's okay. So that's okay. I'll just do it. Yeah, there's a lot of good. I've been studying with different people. I like nature-based things. The Tao is one good one. And I like to listen to I can't even say his name, Nityananda, on YouTube. He's a guru in India. I listen to him a lot. And I gravitate towards kind of like shamanism a little bit because it's, you know, universal. It's about the earth and the universe and, you know, interplanetary things and how we're connected to the universe and, you know, how we are all the same, you know. So there's lots of different things a person can study and learn, you know. But until you actually put it into practice and test what you're reading about, you can quote all the books you want, read all the books you want, and have all the knowledge you want. But knowledge and being smart doesn't really, it's not going to help you. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? In the long run, when you're dead, you're not going to say, gee, I'm sure glad I'm smart. You know? I mean, okay, so we have to test the things that they're telling us. Test them, you know. And all the religions in the world, all of them are telling the same story of surrender. They all have a savior. They all have the, you know, it's all the same story. Every single one. The Quran, the Bible, all the books. It's the same story. Buddha, you know, it's all the same story of surrender. So there's something to be said about allowing everything to happen and surrendering to the situation and not resisting and turning on the willingness rather than having the resistance. And that's the big deal. That's the dealio. So so rather than so I had to cut that, so now I gotta sew it. Then I'll try to glue it on if I can get that far. But I keep gabbing. I keep gabbing. Having a hard time. With this silk, it's hard to sew. The bunches. Okay. Now let me just see. Oh, it bunched right here and I didn't get it. Crap. Gotta do it again. Oh, this stuff is a pain in my butt. The sari silk is just murder trying to sew it. Oh, telling you what. All right, let's try. Now, you might be looking at this fabric saying, oh, what did she do with this? Right? But you just wait till you see what I'm going to do. You just wait to see what I'm gonna do. Now, I had to line it because glue shows through Sari Silk. So, I want the glue to stick to the muslin, not my sari. So that's what we're doing. So I got this little book. I'm not even changing the spine. Look how tiny it is. Look. This is going to be a small one. I'm going to do a couple of these. I have so much sari and so much stuff that it's ridiculous. I need to use up some of this, even if they're just cute little books. It's okay by me. Now, if I wanted to, well, shoot. I'm trying to make some smaller so that the price, you know. So I was just going to leave it this size. But if you want to make it bigger, you just cut this out. And then you just make your own spine, you know. But I'm just leaving mine. So. Hi, Kathy. Hey, you missed our 101 session. You missed our 101 session. All right. So I got silicone brushes now because I never can seem to get to cleaning my brushes and I ruin my hair bristle brushes. So I got silicone brushes thinking that would be better. But, and it is. But I did the same dang thing. I ran out of wipes here and I was in the middle of a video and da-da-da-da-da. And now my Mod Podge glued, dried on my silicone brush. So, it's kind of a pain. Somebody told me in one of my last videos how to fix it. Gee, I can't remember what she said now. Warmed up something, she said. I can't remember. It takes the glue off. Warm alcohol? No. Warmed up, can't remember what she said now. No, it can't. You gotta wipe it off every single time. Which is okay. That's easy when you got wipes sitting here, you know. But I ran out of wipes, so now I got this film over the top. And when you're trying to do a cover that's... You don't want to see the lines. You know, it makes lines now. See, I got lines. So, I ruined it. So, now I got to look it up and figure out what the heck I put on here to get the glue off of this silicone. Somebody looked it up for me already and... told me, but I forget. So... Okay, so I'm trying to do this thin enough to where it's still gonna stick. But not too thick because I don't want it to show through on my dang sari, right? So, I got a glob right here. I gotta get it or it's gonna get on my silk. Ah. All right. Okay. I got some on it anyway. Dang it. It's okay though, because I'm going to be covering it up. But where the heck did I get glue from? I thought after all that, then I slop it anyways. All right. Well, I got the silicone brushes because you can just wipe them off now when I'm done with the baby wipes. While I'm sitting at your desk, you don't got to get up and wash the brushes and have a cup of water and, you know, do all this. It's hard when you do videos, you know. But, so I got these, which I love. But it still happened. So I gotta figure this out. So I'm just using Mod Podge on here. Okay. So this is just going to be a cute little book. A cute little junk journal. It's probably got a 1/4 inch spine or a 1/2 inch spine or something. It's real small, so I'm just going to do, you know, a small signature. But it's going to be chock full of sorry, you know. So, because that's where I'm at right now. And while I got it all out, I'm doing it up. I'm not going to do one book and then put this all away. My God. When you do sorry, you got beads, you got, you know, I got everything out right now. It's a little ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, well, then I guess I better, I moved it over too far. So this is another disaster. It's okay though, I'll get it. This has got to hit the middle or it's not going to work. There we go. There. This is okay like this. Because I can either put a piece of muslin down to cover it up, or by the time you put your signatures in, you're not going to see it anyway. Or you could put this on the outside, along on the outside of your spine, and have it meet here, and then cover your spine up. You know how we do. You can do it that way too. Either way. But I like to have mine meet in the middle. And then if I want to cover it, I can, you know. I wonder if this velvet will. But otherwise, I have a piece of this fabric too right here. Same stuff. I can just go like this if I want. I mean, I don't know. But I think I might. Right? Just put a little bit down just to cover that up a little. So it's not so noticeable. And then we're ready to go with the next one. I got 3 or 4 covers sitting here. I'm going to do all boho. Now, the glue's going to show through on this because I didn't line it, but it's okay because I'm going to, my pages are going to be right here. So it's all going to be all right. Boy, that stuff does not like to stick down. Man, what a pain in the butt this stuff is. Holy buckets. I'd never have used this stuff if I'd have known. My goodness. It doesn't like to grab anything. Jeez. You know? Still doesn't want to grab. What a pain. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to clip it because I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and hold it down. If it doesn't grab, well then I'll just sew it down then. And because that's pretty stupid. And I'm going to hold that in here. There. See if that'll help it. There, so this is going to be a cute one. Okay, that one's done. Well, drying. Okay. Yeah, I should have used fabric glue. For sure. That was dumb. It's sitting here. I'll do it on the next one. That was dumb. I always use Mod Podge, though. And then if it's just sitting here, then I use it. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh! Right? Ooh! So I got a brown. See? I got a pink. And then I got a turquoise. See? See what I'm doing here? Oh, yeah. And then I'll show you my jewels. I'll get it. It's right here. I'll get it. Show you what I got going on in my head. So, I'm probably going to take a piece of this and put it on top of that, for first of all. And then, okay, so this one is ridiculous. This is my favorite one. I can't even stand how gorgeous this is. So I have to decide what it looks the best against, if it's going to be against the brown that it looks best, or against the blue that it looks best. So we'll see, you know, which one it's going to look the best on. I don't know. We'll see. And then I have this. So this is either going to go on the pink. No, probably this. So that'll probably go on that one. Right? And maybe this on this one. I really don't know yet. And then we're going to do this. Whew, I love too. So maybe this on here. Ooh, that looks good. And this on this one. That looks good. With maybe some really dark. Ooh, I love that piece so much. Look at that. Ooh, and if I sew, right? Oh, I love this piece. It's so good. I'm telling you, camera isn't the greatest, but... And then with that on top of that. Oh, I can't stand it. And then I have this. I'm going to throw in, you know, this brown. I like this brown turquoise. So it'll probably go with this one. And then I have some more brown and turquoise. So it'll probably go in this one. You know, I got, you know, things happening here. And then I got, you know, well, I have purple. Let's see. Well, I got so much stuff. I got so much crap. But anyway, that's what these are going to do. So that's going to be pretty, right? So far. Yeah. I got a couple kits left in my shop. If you need any. My kits, you get the appliques, these big pieces, and then you get these embroidery pieces. Let's see if I have any sitting here. Probably don't. Probably on my other desk. But you get a couple of these. Oh, here's some. Well, shoot, it's just pieces of some. And then you get these, you get 5 of these embroidery pieces, but they're real long. I don't have any sitting here. But you can go look. Oh, here's the other one. Ooh, here's the other one. Ooh, here's the other one. I know, I was afraid to do boho too, but I'm diving in. I'm so diving in right now, I can't even stand it. Ooh, that looks gorgeous. I'm just saying. That's the ticket right there. I mean, you can't hardly make a mistake. I know it's tough to get into the boho, and I waited 3 years before I even attempted it, so here's another silky piece with some gold trim, see? Ooh, I'm excited. And I haven't, you know, exactly found the way I'm going to do it, you know, or whatever, but I don't know. I'm just experimenting, you know, how I'm going to do all this, so we'll just see how it goes. But anyway, you get a couple of appliques in my shop, and then you get 5 long embroidery beaded pieces, and then you get the silks, and then you get a cover as well in my kits. Otherwise, the other stuff I'm using, we get from Shirley Gingrich. You guys know her. She's, you know, does the sari. You know. So anyway, that's the plan, Stan. So, I got to sew all these liners while I'm sitting here at the sewing machine. That's what I'm gonna do. So, sewing all these liners. To make these little books. They're gonna be little though, you know, kinda, you know what I mean? And then once I get the covers all on, then I gotta go do my paper, and I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with this paper yet. My last gypsy one, I did plain coffee paper because I really wanted to, you know, have the whole point be about the silk and the beading and stuff. So I don't know what these are gonna be about yet. But I thought earlier today that I think I want to bring in some kind of travel aspect. You know, gypsies traveled, you know. They were mobile. That was part of the charm. So I'm thinking I might want to add some travel stuff this time. But I don't know, looking at this fabric, if it's going to be these ones or the ones after this. I figure I'm just going to stay doing boho for a minute. Like, I have so much, you know. So I could sit here for a little while, you know, doing this. Because once I get it all out, because you don't just get out all the fabrics. You got to do the beads, and you got to do the, you know, it's like, oh my God. So now on my other desk, I have all my jewelry and all my beads and all my crap over there, because you got to have bells and whistles when you do boho. So I got all my bells and whistles over there and all my fabric over here. It's literally like piled at least, I'm going to measure. Measuring. It is piled up. Well, I'll say, whoops. Well, it's a good 7 inches on that side. On this side, it is piled up only 5. Only 5 inches on that side of, you know, lace, ribbon, sari silk, beads, you know. Well, I got all my velvet out because I'm doing those bookmarks. And while I had the beads out, I figured, oh God, I seen all my bookmark beads. I thought, well, while I'm doing these boho beads, I got all these beads out. I might as well do these dang bookmarks. I've been waiting and waiting to do them. So I did up a whole bunch of them. So I got my velvet sitting out. And so anyway, I'm waiting to do my silver ones now. My bookmarks. I did brass. So now I have silver. I have beautiful beads I'm going to be putting on the end. Charms and pendants and... Oh my God, I had such pretty stuff. Yeah, it's just terrible. Okay, so let's try this. See what the heck's going to go on with this. Oh, thanks. I love the bookmarks too. I love them. I was doing 3 for $20. Well, I did the expensive ones first. You know, like the big timepieces and big charms that cost a lot. And then now I'm using the ones that aren't so expensive, you know. So they're getting cheaper as I go, you know. But I started out with the big ones first. And then the big fat wide ones, you know. And the big timepieces and big lockets and, you know, all that. And then now I'm just down to the charms, so they're gotten a little cheaper. Collectible, you know. So it's kind of fun. And I just think they're beautiful, so I'm going to put them in my next vintage ones, you know. I'll be putting them in my books now from now on, now that I got them made up, you know. But I had to get some made up. And it's a beautiful display. Just having a stack of books. You put some gesso on them, so they kind of have a whitewash. And you stack them up, and you put some lace and make a big bow on the top, and have your bookmarks sticking out. It's pretty on an end table. Beautiful. I've done it for weddings, you know. All about wedding decor, you know. Shabby chic, that's what my whole house is, you know. Mixing the old and the new together. That's what shabby chic is. Some people think shabby chic's polka dots and flowers. I see these shabby chic kits. Shabby chic kits, you know, paper, you know, you look through Etsy and it's like, these people don't even know what shabby chic is. This is so funny. Okay, I ran out of my thread. So let's see. I'm just trying to look for a color. I was using, it was kind of a green brown. Well, let me see now. Guess it rightly doesn't matter if I switch. I guess I'll use this. I'm out of brown. So that's weird. I used every brown I had. Can you imagine? I think I'm out of brown. I'm looking. But I think I'm out. Huh, that's cool though. That is cool. All right. I love the pink too. Well, I ran out of thread, so now I gotta stop to rethread everything. And I have these giant nails and I can't do anything. I can't get the thread out of the dang thing. It won't undo. Forget it. Try a different one. I can't get it out of the little thing. There we go. All right. So now I gotta turn it upside down because the bobbin doesn't match. So this year I vowed to get rid of all my half bobbins and all my, thread. God, I have so much thread. That's all these weird colors, because I buy it at garage sales. I see a big bag of thread for $5. I'm like, woohoo. Because, Seattle is expensive prices. One black thread is $6 here. So I freak out every time I gotta go buy thread. So when I see it at a sale, I buy it. And then I only use the black. I was on a black kick, because it's the best. You can see it the best, in pictures and stuff. And, I don't know, I just like it. But anyway, now I'm surrounded by all this thread, so I gotta use it. And I am. I'm so excited. Because I must have used, let's look. Look how many. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is all that I used up since January. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 13 spools of weird color thread I used. Woohoo! Right? Oh my God, I know. Well, you missed the fun part, Kathy. We already had our fun talk in the beginning and now it's boring. Now it's boring. We had our fun talk in the beginning. So, I know I gotta go have some lunch too and walk my doggy. So, I'll get this sewed and see what we can do next. Right? I don't even know which book this is going to fit, but we'll sew it and then we'll see which cover it goes to. Hi, Carissa. We are just sewing. We had a really nice talk at the beginning. You have to go in the beginning and watch it from the beginning. And now we're just sewing. I'm just sewing a bunch of covers. I already showed everybody all the pretty bling and what I was doing. So, you came in at the most boring part. Almost got myself. Alright, I'm not a seamstress, but I did work at Anderson Fabrics. I started out in the dust ruffle department, and then well, they hired me for the head of the dust ruffle department and trained me for that. But I started out just at the sewing machine, so you know the whole process. So I started out at the sewing machine doing the dust ruffles. And it's kind of interesting how they have it set up at a factory, you know. Sewing at a factory, it's cool how they had it set up. So the customer would either buy their own fabric or buy it from them. They would come into the store and pick it out, and then they would have custom bedspread, dust ruffles, curtains, all that stuff made for them, you know. So, so the fabric would come in with the measurements, and the head of the dust ruffle department has to take the measurements and mark all the fabric where the pleats go. So when you're at the sewing machine, you got all these tick marks. And that's what the head of the dust ruffle department does. She puts all the tick marks on. And so when you're at the sewing machine, you got a tick mark. That means you take your first tick mark and you bring it to the second tick mark, right? Like this. And then you sew it. And you do the same with this tick mark. And then when you turn it over like this, see, then you got the ruffles, the dust ruffles. See, you got the ruffles. So, so it was kind of fun, you know. So I had to learn, you know, all the processes and everything. And then I got to be the head, and I got to stand up in front, and I had a big long table, big long craft table, and I had all the reams of fabric here, and then all the girls were in front of me. I had 3, 6, 9, 12 girls in front of me that I was responsible for keeping busy. So I had to keep busy 12 people on the sewing machine. Oh my God. I had to run like the wind. Like, I am serious. So it was really fun, you know, kind of. Oh, I mean, you know, as fun as it can be. And I mean that in the nicest way, working with, you know, a bunch of women, you know. You know. So, and then especially when you get hired for the head, you know, they hate you instantly. Just because of that, you know. I had no idea what I was getting into when I got that job. Shoot. I eventually quit and went to work with the men. I couldn't stand it, working with those women. I went and worked with the men in the mini blinds. I'm like, get me out of this. Get me out of this fresh hell of these dang women. They hated me instantly. I couldn't figure out why either. But come to find out, nobody wanted that job because it was so hard. And I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, you guys. Okay, so I have this big fabric and not a dang book to fit in it. What the heck is going on here? Thought I had all my books ready for this, but this is not happening right. This doesn't fit. That one doesn't fit. What the heck is going on here? Maybe this one will fit. No, it don't fit. Well, what the heck? Did I not bring the right books with me or what? I thought I had all the right books. This one ain't gonna fit neither. What? Well, I either gotta go get a different book or I gotta make it. I just hate to cut all this. Sheesh. Hate to cut all that. I mean, I guess I could. Does it fit otherwise? It does. So, what did I do? Just rip it all too wide? That's really stupid. But I guess it's okay. But, you know, then I gotta sew twice. See? Again, I did the same thing again. But I don't care, I guess. I'm just screwing around, you know. But it does fit this way. It just doesn't fit the lengthwise. Well, you think I would learn to check that before I sew, but I get to talking. Right? Look how much I gotta cut off and re-sew again. Isn't that pink gorgeous? My God. How can I even put anything on here to make it any better? You know what I mean? Like, how can you get this any better? And the thing of it is I was going to use this big, huge piece on here. But I don't even know if it'll even fit. This book is so little. Huh, what am I going to put on here? I don't know. We'll find out, though. I got lots of stuff, so anyway. All right, so I'm going to cut this and rip it again. Cut, rip, sew again. Because I really screwed it up that time. But that's okay. I don't care. That's okay. It's not too big of a disaster. Only a little bit. But it's actually okay because I use these pieces anyway. I'll use this one to go down the center, you know, if I want. Or I can use it, you know, in the book as I get going here. Hopefully I didn't rip it too small. We'll see how that came out. But I think it'll be okay. Yep. There. Gorgeous. Okay, I gotta sew again. See, this is just gonna be a little book. It's gonna be cute, right? I'm trying to do some different price ranges because they get to be, with using the sari because it's so expensive, you know, it gets to be too much money and people complain, you know, they want a book but they don't have, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to make them a little smaller so I can get in everybody's price range, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, I'm going to sew this now. All right. I got it. I got it. Okay. Okay. Now. Cute. I know, isn't that pretty? I love this so much. Oh my God. I love Beauty and the Beast. I have two little girls, you know, my daughters, so that was one of our favorite movies. I know every line, every song. Little Mermaid was one of our favorites too, and Land Before Time. We love that one. I always do Mod Podge. I don't know why, I guess. I just do. I guess because I don't like the way fabric glue spreads. It doesn't spread right to me. I don't like it. So I just use this. My Fabri-Tac is way too thick. So I always end up doing this. That's what we'll do. There. Okay. Now, put that sucker down. And hopefully, let me see if I did it right. Yep. I went and got my nails done yesterday. I got color changing nail polish with glitter on top. So when I'm hot, it's this purple color. And when I get cold, it's pink. So the tips turn pink. So it's kind of like ombre, you know. Because I'm a hot person, you know. So I'm always hot. But they're pink on the tips because there's no skin, you know, behind. So it's really cool. I love it so much. It was fun when I go wash my hands and my nails turn all pink. They stay pink for a long time till I warm up again, you know. It's kind of fun. Okay. There we go. I don't want to get it too thick. Because sorry is funny. Even gluing it down, you gotta practically have it dry glue to glue any sorry down. I'll show you guys again how I do it when I get to that part, but that'll be a while. Because after you get your cover semi-done, then you gotta go do your pages. So I gotta figure out what kind of paper I'm gonna use next. What I'm gonna do. Get that glue off there. Okay, I guess this is probably good. All right. Ooh, that's so pretty. There. Ooh. I love it. Oh yeah. This is gonna be so cute. Ooh, I love this one. I do need some fabric glue though, really quick. To hold this down. Mod Podge doesn't grab like fabric glue does. There. Okay. And then a lot of times I'll put fabric glue right here too. Right on the ends, you know, and then squeeze this together. Or you can put a trim or a lace or a something in here if you want to have it stick out. And if I don't know, then I just leave it. So right now I'm just going to leave it because I don't know if I'm going to put something in there yet or not. So I'll leave it. Just let that dry with the brown one we did. And then I'm going to see first what the heck. Because now we got turquoise. And I want to see which book this is for first. Oh, I know what I did. This was supposed to be for the brown one, I think. Oh, well, anyway, it don't matter. Let's just see. Alright, this one will fit here. This will be a big one, see? Big fat one. Let's see. I want to see if this one fits too, or if it's... Yeah, it fits both. Okay. Okay. Well. Hi, Elaine. We're not doing much, really. We're just sewing. Lining all these covers. That's all I'm doing right now. And I'm back done. So, almost... Almost. Let's see here. I think I even might use turquoise thread on this as well. So I'll use my other sewing machine. I got a brand new one here. Well, I don't know if I can get it set up here, up there or not. It's over here on a different table. So I'll just sew it over here, but I got turquoise thread. So I'm going to sew this all the way around. And then glue it on my cover there. Okay. So let's see. Let's see here. I guess that's all right. I love this turquoise. It's going to be so pretty. I know. I love it. All right, so I guess I'm going to go because I'm just going to sew this and you can't see me with the sewing machine, so. Oh, here's one of the beads. Oh, it's so pretty and they're nice and long. All right. So we'll see y'all later, I guess. Tomorrow I'll come in maybe and show you guys what I'm doing with all the papers and stuff, huh? And see how we're going to progress with all these. It'll be kind of fun. I got to go out and walk my dog.